Hey, what's going on, world? This is your boy Ryan the Great,
What's going on, good people? It's Gardner Douglas, your Oyster Ninja.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Kev.
and we are the Culturally Rich Podcast. On today, we have a good topic that's going on right now. It's like the most talked about topic other than COVID-19 is the what is going on in Minnesota with George Floyd, with him being killed by a cop. So guys, what do you guys take on everything that is going on right now? And so we're gonna start there.
Go ahead, hit it, Kev. You can go first.
My take on it is just point blank period is messed up. Cop abusing his powers. For one, he didn't have to do all that. For what I heard, it was only was it $20 or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Whatever.
like what, counterfeit money. It was
That's
counterfeit
what
money.
apparently that's what they said it was. But even if it was counterfeit or not, you ain't got to do all that. And then for the cops, the other cops, to just sit around there and just watch them. But
Yeah, G, you got something, G, or
let's go ahead and just do the moment of silence right quick.
No doubt, man. Let's do that moment of silence. It's gonna be a moment of silence for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in the memory of Mr. Floyd and there you go, mama. And the main thing, and I don't know if y'all watched the funeral, the memorial service, or whatever with Al Sharpton, but like I watched it, and that 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I'm trying to tell you, it felt like a lifetime. So
it
like
did?
while y'all are taking this moment of silence, think about what could have been going through his head. Whether right or wrong, don't matter. Like you got a knee on your throat. So right now you taking that silence, but you just sitting here, or you just driving in your car, or you just whatever. But he had a knee on his throat. So let's just think about that, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. But let's go ahead and get that moment of silence going.
All right, let's go.
Yes, indeed. Man, that was deep. That
That
was really deep.
that was like the thoughts that was in my head was this officer really had his knee in back of this guy's neck for this long. Wow.
And honestly, that hit me harder now than it did when I watched it on TV, the memorial service.
Yes.
For the simple fact that I got my daughter in my lap, and one day, hopefully it's not her, but it's just she's at risk just like anybody else. It doesn't stop with males, females. I even and this is kind of getting off topic of George Floyd, but it was a transgender that got okay, mama. It was a transgender that got attacked also, so like, and that was black on black. But I'm just saying, like, it's hard out here, man. It's gonna be even harder for the younger generation coming out today.
Was that attack that was that transgender attack? Was that at University of Maryland, I believe? Was that the one? Was that the one?
I'm not sure. I just saw it on social media. I'm not sure. I don't even know if it's new. I just saw it pop up on my timeline or whatever.
Yeah, that 8 minutes and some change, boy, have a lot of stuff going through your mind. You could think it's like it could have been one of us.
8 minutes, and he had pressed his knee, all his strength on that guy's neck.
It easily could have been one of us, man. I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever had any encounters with cops or anything?
I have.
Yeah, I have too. But you go ahead. You go first.
Mine, I would say my last one was probably, I said maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. The crazy part was this: I was getting off of work. Now I do night shift. Sometimes I get off like 4. So I was getting off at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody on the streets, just me. All of a sudden, this cop comes out of nowhere, and the reason he got me was he said it was my tags, but my tags was good. Um, but apparently in the system it was showing my license was suspended because apparently in North Carolina, like if you have two IDs, somehow it cancels out your driver's license and suspended it. But anywho, I was in the middle, I was on my way to the crib. One cop pulled me over. Next thing you know, it's 5 cops around me, 5 cop cars. So automatically right then and there, my whole system just shut down because I'm like, this got to be serious. But they let me go all anyway. But just the fact of one cop turning into 5 cops.
Yeah, I know it was a lot going through your mind, we've been surrounded by 5 cops. You thinking that oh man, I did something extreme, and I'm just driving home from work. I just come from
4 o'clock in the morning, and just the thing that was just going through my head, like like I said, my whole body just shut down because it was like anything could have happened. And at that time, 4 o'clock in the morning, nobody was out, so it wouldn't be no cameras. It would be nothing. It would be their word, and I wouldn't have no word. So it was just.
I'm just glad that they didn't bother you. You made it through that, and just lived to tell your story about it.
It's crazy, man. It could have been a whole lot worse.
For me, I have like mixed encounters, with police, man. Like, starting, when I used to live in New Jersey, I used to always get stopped by the police, regarding my tents on my car. Like, I was going to work. Like, my tents, they said it was like illegal the way it is. It was like 35 over around. Okay, I got it done that way. But they said like in the state of New Jersey, the laws were like you can't have your back windows tinted. You can only have the front tinted dark as you want. So I'm like, okay, like you can't really tell like they really tinted because because 35% is so light. So excuse me. So I was on my way to work one day. The cop just stopped me because I had attended for months prior until I got stopped the first time by the police. So I got stopped one day, like it was like on Cinco de Mayo, like I was on my way to work. Pulled me over, and I was on the side of the road for like an hour. And then the cop finally tell me like why he stopped me. He was just asking me driver's license registration, gave it to him, had my hands on the wheel. And the guy just just ran my information in the system, and then it took him almost an hour for him to get back. And then he was saying the reason why I stopped you was your windows tinted. And then he issued me a citation, and then I just went on my way. I was like, he could have just told me this when he first stopped me, but he didn't. So I was just sitting there just wondering why I was getting stopped for a whole hour. Like I missed a whole hour of work, so I had to make that hour up. But then another instance was one morning, like one early one, or no, it wasn't early, it was like early in the morning, because I went to Virginia and I came back to New Jersey, like for a cookout at my wife's uncle's house, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. Like I got stopped basically at the exit at my house. Like I got stopped. It was like 2:31. Like the guy trailed me for like 2 exits, and then when I got off the exit, when I got at the stop, like he threw his lights on me, like while I was about to turn. So then I turned, made the signal, and the guy stopped me for 10. And then he just gave me a warning. I was like, "This is 2:30 in the morning." I was like, "Okay." He asked me where I was up to. I was like, "I went home." And he said, "I'm stopping because." And then he gave me my registration. I gave him my license and registration. And then he told me the reason I stopped is because you tent. And then he gave me a warning. And then he went on about his business. Went on about my business. I'm like at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, y'all concerned about tent? I'm like, y'all, there's a lot of things else going on besides tent that you guys can be stopping me for. Like y'all just stopping me just to be stopping me. Yeah, and then my other encounter, I had like 2 years ago when I lived here, when I just moved here, I caught a blowout on my tire, and this was a positive one because the cop was able to help me get to the side of the road so I could change the tire, and he had an extra jack so I can be able to change it a lot faster. So because the manufacturer jack, that don't work. That it works, but it takes a long time for you to jack that one side of that tire up. So he had a big jack inside the police car, so he was able to lend me that, and I just changed it and put a donut on there and went to work, and I still made it on time. But I just thank you to the cops. There's some good cops and there's some bad cops out there, so you just have to watch out for the cops. That's like my share on the police.
My experience is similar to Kev's. I was in Crisfield, though. Y'all already know how Crisfield is. So it's a lot of moving and shaking going on in Crisfield. And sorry about that. So what happened was, it was my fault because I took a wrong turn, but I wasn't familiar with the road. So it was like I took a left turn when I should have took like the next left or something. And it just so happened that it was a cop right there. So of course, he keeps going out, and so he makes a U-turn, comes back. I already know he's gonna pull me over. I got my license ready. I did have my registration because I was in my wife's car. But so that ended up being one of the issues. So like I didn't have a registration, and I can't remember, I think we had just got it, or she had took it out of the car for something because her car had got broken into or something. But when they was running the tags, they couldn't find it. So it kind of looked like the car was stolen. So now I got to get on and what started as one cop, now I got 5 cars behind me, and the chief of police came out there. I'm like, whoa, like even if the car was stolen, you need 5 cars and the chief of police. You know what I mean? Like he in civilian clothes. They done called him from home. I guess they want to see some action or something, or they thought it was more than what it was. But the other thing was I had my brother in the car, and I had 2 other guys in the car. And Crisfield is small, so everybody know everybody. So they shine the light in the back seat. Hey, one of the guys had a suspended license, I think. And but they had seen him around town driving. So like, hey, you haven't been driving on suspended license, have you? So I'm like, that don't have nothing to do with what I'm, you know what I mean? They ain't got nothing to do with me. They with me, yeah, cool. We just did a job. We just got done working. I'm just dropping them off to work. So, and of course, I had DC tags. So they thinking DC to Chrisfield. They thinking, okay, mom.
Like out of towner.
Yeah, they thinking it's like drug related or something. And then my son was a baby then, so it was like I think we had like a thermometer or like a one of those nose things, like little syringes or whatever, where you give them medicine. I mean,
yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, we see a syringe in the back, and like at that point, okay, mama, you can talk too. You weren't born yet. So at that point, they're like, oh yeah, so where are the drugs at? I'm like, that you can clearly see that is a baby syringe for medicine. Like it's no needle to it. You know what I mean? And my brother at that point like kind of went off, because if any of y'all know my brother, like he don't really, him and cops don't really get along. But I'm like, so like, and he's getting upset, and I'm trying to calm him down, because like he's that type where he just can kind of spaz off. So I'm just trying to control the situation. I'm trying to control my anger, because I feel like, first of all, I done told you, I don't stay around here. I took a wrong turn. You can easily see my license is good. And then I showed them the information about, my wife had sent me a picture about the registration. So you see, I don't know what's going on. I'm not a DMV. All I know is there's nothing wrong with this car. It's nothing wrong with my license. What's the issue? None of us got warrants. What's the issue? And we was out there, I know, too long. And it was just crazy, man. Honestly, it was real crazy.
My take on it is like the speculation. Like he speculated that where's the drugs at? Like that trigger, like that will trigger like your response. Like it'll say, like
yeah, like I'm heat, like, and like you can only control yourself so much when you already know what's going to happen. You already know the odds are against you. The least little thing get triggered. Like I'm already on edge because one, I got a car full of black gentlemen. The odds against me. We just got done working. It's easier to carpool than everybody drive a car. Okay, cool. I understand all, filled vehicles or don't have the right intentions, but you can't go into a situation with the worst on your mind. Right. You know what I mean? I get it. You put your life on the line every single day. I get it. I was in the military. I was deployed. I was in that situation. But at the same time, you got to have the right mindset when you have that type of power, when you're in that position.
Yeah, if you can't do that, then you need to go ahead and quit that job.
But then, like, when you get pulled over, that mindset is like, oh, man, is my life going to end right here? It's like, this is the spot where I'm going to be gone. Like, it's like, that's it. Like, that, oh, man, you pull over the odds against you. It's, I don't know, if you say one bad word, this can go south quick.
That's true.
And it's like, it's that fear that you have. Like it's like if I go out to the store right now, it's a chance I ain't gonna be able to come back. I ain't coming back because of maybe I get stopped by the cops or an accident. It's just that fear that you have. And, I just want for changes where the cops can come together, where like they're like protecting the community, where we all have like a good relationship with every cop, and know that they're protecting us and being able to protect the community more. That would be like a change for me. Like it would be like more like they're like a voice of there would be another voice of the community. Like they know that we can call on them, if we have any issues, anything, without any conflicts or anything that goes on.
But what do you think, Ron? What can get us there? Like, what would have to happen? And this is for both of y'all. What would have to happen for something like that to occur? Because I personally have never seen that type of thing. Of course, on the Eastern Shore, again, another small town, a small area. Yeah, you know cops by names, and you might have families sometimes that are officers. But as far as like the cops being the voice of the community, or even like feel like a part of the community, even if they're not actually in the community. What can we do? What needs to happen for something to change?
I would say I would say this would be a local thing. Like it's more like your city, your county, your what's it?
Municipality. But question,
Municipalities.
like, all right, I hear you. I got you. I feel you on that. But what about? Let's talk about Pocomo.
I would say yeah, because I would say like okay, for example, town of Pocomo. I feel like Pocomo should have like where like they have a system where like they have like like the police force, like they have town meetings, like everyone can just go to them with the police, like we all have like those kind of discussions, have just to get to know everyone that's in that city, in that force, and have everyone in the town come through, have questions or anything. Just making sure they be a voice of the community as well, making sure our voices matter. Just making sure that we're all on the same page, and that could be changed. Like say, hey, if you don't like that police chief, make suggestions for them to get out of there. For an example, voting or anything of that nature. Like if you don't like that police chief and that police chief be giving you grief all this time in the past or putting your homie in jail that he didn't do nothing, vote and get him out of there. Just exercising those rights and being able to, just being able to meet with these guys and, they're people, they're humans too. I know they're putting their necks on the line, just answering calls and pulling people over and, they just have to make sure that in mind that we're not gonna harm them as well as we all trying to protect each other all at the end of the day.
That's true. I can definitely agree with that.
No doubt, no doubt. So, like, far as racism, what type of like racism have y'all experienced in life? Like, far as maybe like, you got the what do they call it? The Karens or Kathys, or maybe like somebody just speculating that you're a bad guy or you're here to steal, or maybe call a disruption in their establishment. Have y'all ever felt any of that, or even seen any of it?
Not in the establishment wise, but I do see it a lot as far as like, even if I'm just like walking to the grocery store or something, you might see like some older folks, so older Caucasian folks or whatever. As soon as they see me, they automatically you hear the locks. So that kind of throws me off, but then that also brings me back to things haven't changed.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like my grandpapa always used to say he sees he's seen the same thing except for it was in black and white. So like right now we got it in color, but it hasn't changed.
Man, I'm glad you.
You ready?
Go ahead, Ron. Now I was gonna say I'm glad Kev brought that up about talking to his granddad, because not to cut your idea off, Ron, but I was wondering like, us as parents and aunts and uncles or whatever, we got younger people who are going to come up, and again they're going to fight the same fight. Hopefully we make some progression, but they're going to fight the same fight. So if we've all been taught the same thing, right? If we've all been walk this way, talk this way, pull your pants up, look presentable, don't give them any ways to think negative about you, but none of that really works in the bigger scheme of things, then what can we teach our kids?
It's been passed down from generation to generation. Like that generation taught that generation, that generation taught that generation taught that generation, that generation taught us, those
all the same thing.
Where, like how to treat. It's been passed down for ages, and this is how our perception is out there in the world. Like it shouldn't be that way, because like my experience is like sometimes I got followed around the store a couple times. Yeah, I have. Like it made me feel uncomfortable. Like okay, I'm not even trying to steal. Hey, I got much money in here as some of these other customers that's in here. Why are you gonna try to speculate that I'm gonna try to steal something or something like that? Yeah, I'm in here trying to give you business. Like don't try to speculate if I'm gonna try to steal or if I'm gonna try to rob this place or what. Like I just want to be in a situation where like we don't have to fear that way, like someone's following me, someone's looking at me wrong, or anything of that nature. Like, yes, like we do get those type of stigmas because the way that they treat us, like, you know, the way that their ancestors say, hey, this is how you're supposed to treat black people, you know, like it's just been going on for generations and it just needs to change.
Well, personally, I think the lesson that we have to teach our kids is not to walk this way and talk this way. Yes, we do have to educate ourselves, but I think the bigger lesson that I really didn't get passed down was just voting. I think voting is really important because, but not just voting either. You can't just vote for who's popular. You got to do your research, do your due diligence, and do your research on the people who are running. And if, like, let's say you know somebody in the community that's like maybe like activists or whatever, but like just you got to do your research on the people who are running, because at the end of the day, we got the power. They say, you know, if
Political power.
right, like we got to vote the right people that are going to make changes for us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you don't like what you have, if you don't like your politician in there, what can you do? You can do is go in there and vote. Get him out of there. That's all you can do. Your senator, get him out of there. If you don't like him, you don't like your president, get him out of there. You know, just we all got to exercise our right to vote.
No doubt. I can remember a lot of racial experiences on the Eastern Shore, but I'm not gonna go into it too much because y'all already hit it. What else y'all got? Y'all got anything else?
If you want to talk about the Eastern Shore, yeah, we can talk. I guess we can touch on it a little bit.
I'm good, man. I'm like, I try not to dwell on like a lot of negative stuff, because the more negative we put out, if we don't really have you know, resolutions, like I said, I want to talk about resolutions, man. I don't have any problem with hearing you guys' experience at all, but as far as myself and personal experiences, I just try to keep stuff positive and try to come up with positive things that are going to help everybody.
Make a difference, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, about George Floyd, he has a funeral. His memorial service is here in North Carolina today. Like currently today, like from the viewing is from 11 to 1, and the funeral, the service starts at 3:00 today down here in Rayford, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have one on. Then they're gonna ship the body after the funeral. They're gonna ship it to Houston, Texas, for the funeral that's on Tuesday in Houston. And I've heard through media outlets that President-elect Joe Biden is going to be there.
What, at Texas or North Carolina?
In Texas.
Oh, okay. So have y'all been tuning into like the rallies, protests, the looting? What y'all think about all of that?
I caught a few of them. And it was actually protesting here in Greensboro. I think, what was it, Saturday night? It was your birthday night. What was it, Saturday?
Saturday night, yes.
I think it was 3 or 4 of them that was going on downtown, like at the same time. They showed a couple of video clips of stuff breaking out. I heard a few things. I think like a mattress store they say got burnt down or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I done seen a lot of protesting going on. It's kind of slowed down now due to them putting in the curfew. But yeah, I appreciate them for protesting.
So here in Raleigh, North Carolina, they're actually been protesting since last Saturday. They've been protesting every single day since last Saturday, and I believe there's one going on today. Yes, they've been protesting and trying to get getting their voice out there. And I believe it's making a difference. Just getting their voice out there. One night they were talking to the police chief of Raleigh. Just getting their points across and their views and see how how they'll be able to reciprocate those views and be able to make change. Yes, and looting. There's been some looting going on in the city, so that causes the city to be on curfew um, almost all this week from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. And then they extended it until 10 o'clock now, so it's from 10 to 5. But yeah, for the looting, as far as that concerned, like I understand the protests. Like I understand it. I'm down with the movement. I'm down with the cause. I'm down with the purpose of it. But the looting part, I do not get. Like I don't see where that intertwines with each other, like with the protest and that. Like looting is a little too much. Like I think that like why still all why like burn down your whole community? Like it's like burning your house down. Like this is like the city is your house. Like you got to protect it at all costs. Like why burn your city down that these business owners saved their life, like spent their life savings on growing and producing, to be a difference in the community. Why burn that down? Don't burn that down. Like just protest. Like don't that's extra stuff to me.
No doubt, man. I think when I saw the press conference with Ti and Killer Mike, and Killer Mike really touched me with his words. When he was just talking about, or who was that, Ti? But either way, they were saying that people go out and about and they go to New York and New Jersey and whatever city, but they always come back home. And ATL has always been there for them, but now like they're destroying their home, like you said. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man.
It's just ATL just have a lot of history, like for us, like dating back to the civil rights movement.
Right.
Like there's a lot of Black history in that city. Like just to experience the growth of that city from when Dr. King was there and those other activists that's been there. Killer Mike's there, Ti's there. They have a black woman mayor. Like just tearing up their city. Like the Black people's done witnessed that struggle in the '60s, and just to make that change from the '60s to now. Don't burn that city up. That's a lot of history.
No doubt. And of course, I'm here, close to DC, and at my job, I don't know if a lot of people know, but I do security. And, our efforts have gone up because, really, literally, we're security, but we look like cops. So, people don't know we're security. All they see is the gun. So we easily could be, attacked, if somebody saw us out in the street. So, it's just crazy out here, man. Again, I like you, Ron. I understand, what the protesting is about, but all the looting, I don't know, man. I know it's gonna happen. There's nothing that I can do about it. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and just letting it all out, honestly, and letting the emotion out, let the anger out, let the fear out, letting everything out, letting the tears out. You got mamas coming from all over the country because, George Floyd called for his mama, and he didn't just call for his, he called for mamas all across the world. And, people are standing up. And when I say people, I mean white, Black, Asian, Puerto Rican, people are standing up, man. And
what makes it worse, that his mother wasn't even living, and he called for his own mother. Like, his mother is dead, like, and he cried out for his mom. Like that was like the most touching thing, like this guy called out for his mom. Yep. Not living. But speaking of DC, did you see that your mayor what's it Browser? How you was it Mario Browser?
Yeah, Mayor Bowser. Yeah, not my mayor. I stay in Maryland, but I know who you're talking about, Mayor Bowser.
With the Black Lives Movement, with the Black Lives Movement Plaza.
Yeah.
I think that is the most dopest thing that happened right now. Like I think we really needed that, like, to dedicate that Black Lives Matter Plaza. Like I am 100% for that. Like And the craziest thing is, I feel like it's the greatest thing is, but it's a savage thing to President Trump. But we can get into another subject about him. But just for him looking out his window and he sees that.
Yeah, it was seeing. I think when did they finish it? Did they finish it like Friday morning or Thursday morning?
Did they finish? I think it was yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I think yesterday was they finished up on it.
Yeah, I started seeing a lot of posts on it. Yeah, that was dope. Apparently, they changed like the street name as well.
Yeah, the Black Lives Matter. What was it? Black Lives Matter Plaza, G?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to DC again. I just want to like walk that. Like I just want to walk and take pictures of that.
Yeah, I would love to go to DC myself. It just depends on when this COVID thing is over. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, because I think that like with everything that's going on right now with the rioting and the looting, I think like Gardner said, like it's just everyone is tired. Like everyone's just tired of this going on. Like tired of a black man dying by a cop. Like like a black man getting killed in the streets by a cop. Then you got this going on. You got COVID going on. It's just a lot right now for our community, to take in. Like it's okay, to not be okay mentally. Because this takes a toll on you mentally because you think about this stuff, and it just put a lot of fear in you. And you feel like that if you go out the house, you ain't gonna be able to come. There's a chance that you may not come back. It's just a lot of fear right now.
It's definitely a game changer. You gotta also think people losing their jobs due to the COVID. So
employment, yep.
Yeah, like you said, people are fed up.
Yeah, they're really fed up. They're really fed up with this, man, and I'm fed up with it, man, because I'm tired, of me looking at the news like someone's getting killed. Like it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot, and you think about it, and it's just the world needs to change. Everyone goes, like the white people. Other people, like they go to church. We all pray. We all, and we all supposed to love each other. Not like just to develop hate for each other. We all supposed to be united as one. Like all one people. Like we all supposed to help each other, no matter if it's like just anything. Like with jobs. Being able to get ahead. Like just being able to get to that curve. Like we're at a disadvantage with anything. Like there's not a lot of black CEOs of companies. It's just a lot of white ones. It's just really discouraging. Just the fact that like there's not a lot of black CEOs out there. It's really discouraging.
That's true. That's why we got to also start building our own companies.
Yeah, building our own businesses, become our own entrepreneurs, become our own boss. We just gotta stand on one. Everybody said all lives matter, but it really doesn't until Black Lives Matter. I mean that could be true, but it doesn't matter until Black Lives Matter. So all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. So until Black Lives Matter, all lives don't matter. Yeah, man. So is there anything else you want to talk about, Kevo?
No, that'll be it for this episode, man. We will definitely be coming back with more. So just stay tuned. Look out for Cultures of Rich podcast.
Yes, and we're going. And Cultures of Rich podcast is going to be signing off. And you guys enjoy. You guys stay safe, and see you next time.
Peace.